Clapper. Wow, qué increíble que vengas desde Nueva York a hacer esto. No tenía ni idea de eso. Vale, 1, 2, 3. Hello everyone, my name is Belly and
if you are not subscribed, please subscribe right now, okay?
I'm extremely happy because, I was zapping. I never watch TV, to be honest. I'm always watching YouTube or editing or doing something. I don't have time to watch internet or TV. So for the very first time, I came to the living room and I was zapping and I was like, oh, look at this. And I don't know why I stopped in BBC 4. I stopped there and I was watching and I was like, so impressed. And then this amazing lady started to say something like, I'm Venezuelan. And I was like, say what? Like my face was like, are you real? And then the people were started to speak about her. And they were saying like, she's from Caracas and she's auditioning here for the best singer in the world. And the place is from Cardiff. So edition 2021. And I was like, no, this is not happening. It is for real. And we have it here. So can you believe how I feel? It's impossible. How are you, Maria?
I'm doing well. First of all, thank you for inviting me to your program. I'm incredibly grateful to be here and also to be able to share something, a nice interview with another Venezuelan woman, which doesn't happen too often where I live. So my name is Maria Brea. I come from Caracas, Venezuela, and I grew up in Catia, in Los Frailes de Catia, which is a slum, a favela in Caracas.
Wow. All right. And now that you answered our first question, like exactly where you're from, and we know a bit about you, I would like to know, how is it that you from Catia in Caracas? How did you become a opera singer?
For that question, I really appreciate it. Well, it turns out my father is a music teacher. Even though we didn't have much in my house, we were very humble, a very humble family. He made sure that my sister and I had the best education he could ever offer. He brought books, he brought instruments. He trained my sister and I to be good singers, to read a lot, and he educated us with what they had. I grew up around drugs, the drugs cartels. I grew up around gangs. Many of my colleagues who went to school with me, to high school and middle school with me, are dead because they joined the gangs. And I didn't grow up in a fancy neighborhood or anything. And I think that music and the discipline that my dad gave to my sister and to me, and my mom too, because my mom is a very hardworking woman. She's a medical doctor. What they gave us allowed me to fall in love with music and fall in love with opera later when I was 11. One day my dad brought a CD of cantatas of Bach because he always gave me music, but I wanted to make a project about Bach because I knew the composer, and I heard this kind of singing that you just heard, which is so different, right? And you don't hear that too often in our country. So I just knew that was going to be what I was going to do with my life.
Wow, I'm really impressed the way that you're doing, because if you are living in Caracas, or I used to live in Caracas for a long time. After I was living in Merida, then I moved to Caracas when I was like 13 years old, and I spent the rest of the time there, and then I came to the UK 5 years ago. So all the time that I was living in Caracas, I knew that the people there is very different than the Andes where I was living before. The music and the society grown very different like it was before. So the music that we are listening there, if you are like someone very Latin, like very Caribbean, you will listen salsa, for example, or maybe in my city, we used to listen vallenatos, and they have musician skills, but it's not opera. It's really, really different. And it's amazing the way that you are doing this. And I couldn't believe when I watched that. I was like, this is not happening. I used to listen goth metal when I was younger. Goth metal, the people, I think that is soprano. I don't know, how do you say in English?
Yes, soprano. Well, there are certain voice types. I used to be in a gothic metal band.
Oh, really? You see? Well, my favorite were something that is called like Camelot.
Yes.
And that's really good. And the stories there were so cute because we're like fairy tales.
Fairy tales, yeah. Fairy tales and elves and cute things like that.
Exactly. So it's very similar to the culture where I'm living in the UK. So yeah, it's very nice that you like goth metal. That's why I like it so much.
I like it too. It's wonderful.
Did you know the orchestra Simón Bolívar?
Yes.
Were you there?
No, I was not part of this El Sistema. I was actually part of the Escuela Superior de Música José Ángel Lamas, which was the first music school in Venezuela. It was a very humble school. It was falling apart. But honestly, the education that I received in my escuela was incredible. When I went to the US, even at Juilliard, I ended up going to Juilliard School of Music.
Whoa!
With a full ride, actually, and a stipend and everything. They covered everything for me. I couldn't afford going to the school. So actually, it wouldn't have been possible. But with my education that I got from Venezuela, and which I'm very proud about, I was able to qualify all my exams. Like music history, I didn't have to take music history. I just could take the electives. I didn't have to take some theory classes because my school, and piano classes because my school had prepared me really well in my humble town.
Yeah, definitely. Because to be honest, it matters what do you want to do with your life. So it's up to you and your parents in your case. How was the process that you have to do when you wanted to auditionate for this Best Singer in the World 2021?
Just 16 young artists drawn from around the globe have earned their place in Cardiff.
My name is Brea. I am from Caracas, Venezuela, and I am a soprano.
This process is a little bit different than other competitions. I've done some major competitions before, and I've been in the finals, but usually you just apply to the competition, either through a form or you send a video or something like that, right? And this one, you have to be recommended by either a theater or your manager. Then it's several steps. So you're getting to see what it's actually the finals. So it's the finals, and there are the grand finals, which they only choose 5 winners. But already we are 16 people out of 500 people that are only recommended. So it's a very small pool of singers. It's really hard to get into the competition. I only applied once. So I guess I got lucky. It's several steps. So it takes about almost a whole year to get through this whole process. So first, your manager or your theater sends a recommendation. Then they listen to some videos, take a couple months, and then they contact you again. Then they consider your videos. Someone from the panel here will consider your videos. And then there is an interview as well, which I took in December. And then after the interview, and they have heard you sing again, then they choose the 16 finalists. And it's pretty much the same every year. The difference this year with COVID is that you don't have to fly here, that you just did it through video. And I had some professional videos already done. There are several studios in New York that are very nice, where you can do a professional video. I wouldn't do something like that at home because it's kind of like a serious competition. I also, when I applied, I sent some videos in another important theater from Spain that I had sang in. I was a winner of that competition, so I had some videos with orchestra. And so, you also want to present the best material you can, because, this is the top competition in the world. Just to get here, it's very hard.
Yeah, I definitely bet, because actually they said that they were 15 countries. So just imagine people. So it has to be the best of each country, and there are just 15 all around the world. So I think that the way that you are coming from Katia, from Caracas, from Venezuela, now you are here doing this competition. I think that that's the best. It's not just that, because okay, we can say that you arrived very high, but the talent that you got, I think that is more valuable than actually any competition, because you are really good. I mean, the way that you express yourself, the way that because I saw you like also about makeup, right?
Yeah, I do a little bit of makeup. I love makeup. I mean, I've had to learn how to do it because I want to make sure wherever I go, sometimes they have a makeup artist here, which was very nice, but I already know what looks good on me. This person sees you only one time and they might be very talented, but you might put them in a very difficult situation because you're coming in, they don't know your shape, the shape of your eyes, or they don't know the shape of your lips, or I have sensitive skin, you know, so I don't want to get like all my skin peeling and all that kind of stuff. So I want to make sure everything looks good. So I come in with a base of my makeup, and then I let them see if they have any suggestions, they can fix something. I let them do my hair, if not, I do my hair myself and stuff like that. So, you know, with so many years of doing this career and doing, I don't know, maybe like 1,000 auditions in total, you have to learn how to do your makeup. I mean, you don't have to, but I love it. I love making sure that at least for that I look good.
I need to confess that maybe it's because you are Venezuelan, so that's a plus.
I think so. I was so bad. I sucked at it. I was so terrible. Like, honestly, I've had to work really hard for it. You should have seen me in Venezuela. I was a mess because honestly, we didn't have much. I couldn't afford it. Now that, you know, I've been able to work and I have a different life, now I can afford those things, but back home, I could not afford that. So,
okay, how is a day by day of an opera singer in the United States? What do you do for living?
It varies. Well, if we're talking about COVID times, I think COVID times have shaken the world, and in general, the career that I do is a very specialized career with a very small audience compared to anything else. So if you are singing full time, you are really in the top 5% maybe, because it's really hard. Or you live in Europe. Europe allows singers to work for one company, one house, right? And then they can be employed there. But I have a family. I have my husband and I have my children who were just born 4 months ago. I had twins. So I have a different life. I mostly do so contracts, right? Like with one opera company or one foundation or whatever, you know, I do single by, contract by contract. So I'm what we call a freelancer. So I don't belong to anyone. So I live from music, from that and from teaching. I teach music, not full-time, even part-time. And with that, I have enough to survive, to have a nice life and enjoy. Obviously, you have to be, when you're a freelancer, you got to be on your, on your game. If you have students, you have to watch after them and stuff. And you have to love teaching. I love teaching. I went to the school for teaching in Venezuela as well for 3 years as I was studying music. So that's something I enjoy. And, if I have several concerts, I used to make so much money from concerts, because not like millionaire, but you can live very nicely. And my husband is a music teacher in the US. Music teachers get paid different salaries depending on where you live. New York is the best salary that you can get. It's a very, very nice
it's like primary school or particular teacher.
He does K through 8, but he's certified to teach from K to 12, which is, kindergarten to 12th grade. So he can teach at any level there. He's a pianist. He went to Manhattan School of Music, which was the school where I got my bachelor's at. And he also has a master's from Manhattan School of Music. He's a classical pianist and he's a full-time teacher. And teachers in New York Department of Education teachers get wonderful salaries. It's like the best place to be a music teacher. And other states too, but some other states you don't get paid that well. So it could be pretty bad.
Okay, I know for fact that to be a pianist is one of the most difficult, or the most difficult, because you have to study a lot. You have to study like 15 years, I think.
In general, I would say for a classical musician, it's about 10 years, 15 years of training. I've been training since I was 14 to be able to get to a decent level, right? Like it's about nuancing and stuff. For pianists particularly, they have to start when they are little, because when their fingers are getting, sort of formed and the bones are developing, you want them to be developing for the piano. If you start learning later than, I don't know, 8, and then starts getting a little bit more complicated. So pianists in general start quite early. So my husband started piano when he was 5, and he's amazing. Not because he's my husband, but he really and in general, pianists, to get to that level, they have to study for so many years. And it's hard, because when you're a kid, you're so small, you don't want to be at the piano for 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be playing outside. For singers, we actually are not encouraged to start like fully singing operatically until you're 14, because of your vocal cords.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
you can do a lot of damage.
I know that. I mean, I know about the pianist, and it's very difficult because of Björk. Do you like Björk? Björk, the singer.
I'm not
She's
sure.
like crazy. One MTV Video Music Award, she went like with the swan dress.
I think I think I saw it. Like a little swan, but it was not a real swan, right? Yeah, it was. Like,
No.
It was, everyone criticized her. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was before Lady Gaga, World Lady Gaga. So that was so weird. She was the only person that can go to the VMAs with a swan here, and people were like, no. And then Lady Gaga is going there with like meat.
Yeah, they're very interesting. Very, very, talk about weird, not weird, but like out of the box. Yeah, different people. Yeah, a little bit extravagant. You'll find, in the opera world can be a little bit also intense, because it's a different world. So
She's my favorite singer ever. I love her so much. Björk,
I'm gonna pick her for you.
Okay, so you didn't win.
In the end, we made our decision, and the winner of this round, we went to Georgia, and the winner is Natalia Kutateladze.
Yes, and that's totally fine. I mean, I don't know if you know much about different voices or how the opera world works, but
No, I don't know anything. So I'm the most, I have ignorance about the topic. So I'm really so sorry. That's why I want you to explain it.
It's actually quite hard to do competitions. Why? Because competitions, you are, especially if you're competing against people of different voices, like everyone with a different voice. Like there was a mezzo, there was a tenor, and a baritone, right? And me, a soprano. We are different voices, different voice types. If you're competing against, soprano, it's a little bit more, like you can compare. But if you're competing against different voices, it's different voice types. It can be very hard, and it will all be at this level about taste, what they like more and what they don't. And that is totally fine, because, you are not gonna like everyone, and that's okay. And they might like you, but they might like something else much better. And it doesn't mean that someone is worse or not at this level. I mean, I'm not saying that, it could be pretty bad, but at this
What
level,
works better for the moment? That's what I would say.
the moment, or what it's their taste of the judges.
Their taste. Yeah.
What they feel like it's more, it's only, I think it's only like 3 people or 4 people judging. And, and I have won competitions where I did not feel I was the best, and I think that's just okay. And it doesn't devalue your job, just being here, just being part of such a big competition, if you are here, it's a big deal. So honestly, being sad or focusing on if you won or not doesn't matter, because all you wanted was to get here so that your video is on the BBC. You know, that's what matters. That's why I came here.
I was so emotional. I was like, look, I was shocked. I didn't expect that at all. I mean, I will not say, oh yeah, I will watch opera and there will be a Venezuelan singer in the UK doing opera. Like, that's so blow my mind.
It's common. So honestly, like, I'm not worried at all. Like, you know, a lot of people, you know, might feel like, you know, it's like, this is the competition. It's a different career. I'm not like an Olympic, what's the word? Like Olympic, there's a name for that, sport person. This is not like why I do this. Competitions, I'm here. What the reason you do competitions is to put your work out there so that people like you can see what I'm doing, but other people who would hire me would see my work and they would find out. It's a platform, and it's not the end, because what we actually do is go to a concert, work with the conductor, do a whole piece, not just sing, you know, 3 arias from different operas. Competitions in a way can be a very, just like a little box, you know, a little box that you have to learn how to play them. And I've done tons of them. And I've won a few of them, like a big list of them. And they can be tiring because then you put your mind into that little box. But out there in the world of music, it's very different. It's very, very different. The way, you know, you go to a concert to hear all kinds of things, right? So,
what was the name of your goth metal group?
Favorite band? I have
band, yeah.
Yeah, I like Nightwish.
No, but what was your name? The name of yours?
Oh, the name. It was Ángeles de. ¿Cómo era que era? What was the name? Ángeles Eternos. I think it was the Eternal Angels. Then we were like it was like a bunch of names.
The gigs. La Cigarra.
There was like a bar, right? I sang in that bar with what?
Of course you have to.
I did a Halloween gig there. Honey, that was years ago. Like, that was probably like, what? I don't know. You just gave me like a big, like...
That's good.
When was that? I was maybe 16, 17. The name of the band that I was in at that time, because then I joined another group, was Metus Mortis.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually ended up going to Valencia and, like, you know, another state.
Valencia. Did you open to Evanescence or something like that? Where were you doing when Evanescence went to there?
I did. Well, I was not really into them because I wanted to be like more like cool. At that time, I thought, you know, I want to.
What were you doing that moment? You had the band when they went to Venezuela. Because I want to think about the time. I'm 30, but I want to ask your age.
I'm 32.
So.
Yeah,
Really?
you definitely ask my age. I'm okay with that. I am from a different generation. Yeah, I'm 30. I'm from 1990. Yes.
Me too.
I went to the Epica concerts. You remember Epica coming to Venezuela?
Okay. Please, Cry of the Moon, please.
¿Cómo era que
No, I cannot.
Right? Yes, that's it. Actually, I, as a matter of fact, maybe like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I had like this thing that I was like, I want to listen to Epica again. Let me see what they're doing. And like, I literally
They don't have anything.
No, actually, they came up with a new album, didn't they?
When?
Just like now, there's a new album. Yeah, I know. Like, but I didn't really have time to listen to them. What was I doing? I think I was getting like ready or something like that. And I
like Evanescence, to be honest, but I didn't want it. It's like the reggaeton. You don't want reggaeton to be in your, but it is.
I mean, it's much, much better than what we're hearing nowadays. Obviously, I'm sounding like an old lady now, but well, I was always like a weird person. I mean, I'm an opera singer. Come on.
Me too. I'm so happy.
Yeah, but
the only one.
yeah, exactly. You know, you're like, I didn't like what people were listening to. I didn't mind salsa. I didn't mind merengue. I didn't mind like the good groups, like the good like folk groups of our country, which are beautiful and absolutely amazing. Like Vasallos del Sol, C4 Trio, El Pollo Brito. Like I am all for that. Like all 1,000% for that. What I'm not all for is this porqueria. Sorry, I don't know if
That
you
is
can
happening now.
Yeah, that is happening now, where just women are objects and all these girls singing with absolutely no talent. I'm not against it, but whatever. People can do whatever they want and enjoy their life. Honestly, I don't care. I couldn't care less. I live in my own little bubble. I'm an opera singer. Come on. Like, it's weird.
I found you zapping on the BBC. I'm living in UK.
Honestly, and you have a sweet little accent because, you know, obviously we both have accents. We're from you know, Spanish speaking.
Yeah, it's so difficult for me.
First language. No, but you have like a little British accent going on there with your own, you know, native Spanish speaker accent. And my
own Sofia Vergara.
Yeah, I speak differently than you know, because I live in the US. So it's a different accent. But your accent is beautiful.
Thank you. I mean, I'm doing these videos in English. I can do it in Spanish because I'm a journalist. I'm actually a correspondent for Venezuela. I can do it in Spanish. I have a YouTube channel that I just created to do it in Spanish, but my main channel is this one that is in English. And I'm encouraging people that doesn't have the accent or doesn't have the guts to go there and say like, hey, I don't speak amazing. I'm not native, but I'm doing this because I'm an immigrant and I have to live here, and I learn a new language, I learn a new culture, I start over, and I'm here. So that's very good, and I want to encourage people that don't be afraid of that. I know many people is in Venezuela because they cannot go out, or many people is in places like in the UK or maybe in the United States, and they don't speak English and they don't learn. Try to communicate. If you can express what you need, that's enough for certain jobs. So just do it.
English so beautifully, and it's amazing that you have only been speaking it for you probably have been speaking it for longer, but living only in the UK for 5 years, that's amazing. And that is a testament of your, you know, being resilient and trying really hard. And honestly, I mean, I have an accent and I know it because as a singer, I work with languages. As you know, I sing in, well, or you could have noticed that I was singing in French and then in Italian and in Spanish too, but I sing in other languages like German, I've sung in Russian, Ladino, Yiddish. I've done even Quechua. I've done,
where is the Quechua from? Sorry.
Quechua is from Peru, Bolivia. It's the language of the Andes. Yeah. Yeah. So
I know that I remember that word, but I didn't remember where. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so. I think it's, well, I think so. And it's, you know, Quechua people. And yeah, I've sung in so many, I did a little bit in Chinese, but I failed at it pretty badly. But I've done so many different languages, and Czech, I've done Czech.
Okay, let me know if you catch this. Mercedes. She was eaten by an alligator, or what was she? What was she doing?
Of course.
What was she doing?
Yes.
What happened? Because that's, for me, as a journalist, that's a note, like a press note, una nota de prensa.
Exactly. Yeah.
What happened there?
What happened there? I think she was eaten by a very sad story. I mean, I just think that he was such a horny man that he couldn't realize that she needed help, and he would rather see her be eaten by the alligator than just keep whatever he was doing, like looking at her naked. Like, come on, man.
Okay, will blow your mind. Hopefully you get this. She was cheating on the husband with someone else.
You think so?
Yes, that was just so poetic way from a person explaining. She was just taking a bath there and she was eaten by someone else, but an alligator. But actually he saw, because he wanted to, go and, have sex with the lady. But actually she did it with someone else. So he went to say to the friend, like, Mercedes was there and I saw her.
Oh,
That's
wow.
my idea.
That's your take on it. I actually like that interpretation. I always thought that it was like just a very unfortunate story about a freshman and a poor woman who was maybe taking a bath naked. Why would she do that if there are alligators around? And then
exactly. That's the whole point.
And then he ate her. I mean, I like that. I honestly do. What a sad thing, like to see someone else. But that's life. Those are relationships and people who like cheating. I've sung about that. I've sung about being cheated on, and well, that song that I sang, the second one, was about someone being betrayed by their lover. Very, very sad. Very sad. And she ends up dying. Yeah.
Wow. It was incredible. Really, it was a lot. Stunning. the way that you were like explaining the things, just singing it, and with your face, the expressions. And I was like, I don't know what's happening, but it sounds sad.
It was, a lot of it. The first one was about joy, and the first one is about the first time you make love with someone. And this is a very strong woman. All of these women are incredibly strong, the three of them, in their own ways. I like to sing about strong women because as a Venezuelan woman who has had to be strong for my family and for the people that I love, and just to leave my country by myself with nobody else and start a new life, you have to be strong. So I admire strong women because I feed off that energy, like you. I can see that you're a strong woman. I like that. I like strong women who know what they want, who go out and get the stuff that they want to get.
That's amazing. Okay, I have just a couple of questions before we go, because we have been here like long enough. So my question is, have you seen yourself at UCB Valle Quemaditos?
Oh my God. Well, I didn't go to the UCB, so but I went there for concerts at the Aula Magna.
Uh-huh.
I remember getting off in the train station, and making that walk. It gives me a little bit of sadness. It's been many, many years since I left home. So, and I'm sure that you have the same feelings of like your country was stolen from you. So yes, Venezuela hurts. It hurts a lot to me. I often get tears just thinking.
Yeah. I'm always saying that I'm Venezuelan. I'm so proud to do that. And there are like many in Facebook, there are many news that they're talking about this person is a Venezuelan and they're succeeding here and there and there and there. And it's like, wow, I didn't know that how many people were out there doing things and they're Venezuelan. And that's amazing. And I feel so stupid that I didn't know about you before.
No, do not feel stupid. And honestly, our country was stolen and we're a big diaspora. And I think that we will find each other in the way. And that's something that brings me chills. I mean, like, think about it. It's been so many years since I left home, but I try to keep my identity as much as possible. And I always say where I come from. I'm very proud to say where I come from, even though I got my education in the US. Basically, I could say that I am from the US because, my education was there. Like, many people are like, well, you should like, talk more about your life in the US. And I'm very proud of, and I'm very happy of all the opportunities that I've received in the US. It's been a home to me. And my husband is an American citizen. So there's this stuff, but my pride of being from my country and for what the people in my country have gone through, and the fact that we are trying so hard all around the globe to succeed and to keep going and to do the best. Some of us maybe not, but I would say that most of us are. It's nice, and honestly, I think we will all get together one day, hopefully.
I always see in the good way, because I was in Venezuela when Venezuela was different, so I grew in a completely place than what is now. The culture was different, the people were different, everything were different. But anyways, right now I remember that. So I am Venezuela. I'm Venezuela in United States, in UK, different places, but I am Venezuela.
You will always be Venezuelan, and that's your culture, and you should always be proud to say where you're from. Always, always, always. I think the Venezuelan people have something so beautiful where we see each other. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a party. There are not so many Venezuelans in New York, unfortunately. I mean, there are, but more of them are in Miami. So in Miami, I feel at home when I go to Miami because my in-laws live there. I'm so happy because I see so many of us and I hear our accent, and it's just so nice and so sweet, and I feel myself, so it's what we have.
All right, so thank you very much because you accept my invitation so quickly, and because you are representing Venezuelan around the world, and you have such an amazing voice, such an amazing attitude. You yourself, like, strong woman, empowered woman, Venezuelan. So everything is so good. Thank you for being you, to share everything that you can have, that you can do, and for being here. Is there anything that you would like to say to my audience?
Yeah, please subscribe, support Venezuelan women, and support women in general. Empower. Do you have a Patreon?
No, I don't, because I want to, I don't know, increase more.
Okay, but you need a Patreon so that people can start, like, paying for what you're doing, honey.
Do you want a Patreon?
Yeah, you
Okay.
get a Patreon. Okay, get a Patreon so that we can say, hey, exclusive content there. But honestly, just subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up. Say something in the comment section. Just support this talent, and support channels so that people can keep growing. So
Thank you. Bye, people. I'm so happy, and see you later. Bye.